What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Raw review from 1994, May the 2nd, episode number 61. I don't know why I said all of that. I never say it like that. But let's just get right into it. Raw starts off with a quick recap of Captain Lou Albano knocking Johnny Polo on his ass from last week's end of Raw. Captain Lou's Headshrinkers are taking on the Quebecers for the WWF tag titles, and that's how the show starts. This match was put off for whatever reason. Even Vince says that this all started 6 weeks ago, where Polo had actually accepted the match for the belts, and then they backed out all for nothing because they're still defending the belts after all of those weeks that they tried to back out. Didn't make any sense. I've said over the reviews in the last couple of weeks, I just didn't understand why they were extending this the way that they were. Something else to point out, the Headshrinkers were heels when this all started, and now just because of this match they turned babyface. The Quebecers are so good at playing the heel role that this works in my opinion. The Headshrinkers actually get some good pops from the crowd too as they send both of them to the outside. The Quebecers end up walking to the back so they can get counted out and retain the belts. The referee does something good for once and has Finkel tell us that the belts will change hands if they don't come back within the count of 10. So the Quebecers end up running back out and the match continues. Quick without searching it up, what is the name of the Headshrinkers manager? Not Captain Lou Albano, but the other Samoan guy. I'll subscribe to whoever has the first correct answer in the comments. The Quebecers hit a high-low to take out Fat 2, then one of them back body drops the other on top of Fat 2 for a near fall. Samu comes in off the hot tag and starts to clean house, but as he goes for the clothesline to Jacques, I believe, he moves and Samu's head gets stuck in between the ropes. Nasty looking spot. He also did this at the Rumble, which looked just as bad. Mick Foley also does this at times, but Samu gets a power driver and it looks like they're about to win, but they go for their double team move and Samu moves out of the way. Polo jumps onto the apron, but Lou Albano grabs him and the other manager. You thought I was going to give you his name, didn't you? But they take out Johnny on the outside. Then back in the ring, the ref misses the tag from the Headshrinkers, so Samu is still the legal man. He moves out of the way and the Quebecers hit each other. Then he super kicks one of them out of the ring. They hit a double face plant, then the flying splash for the win, and they finally end the reign of the Quebecers, who have been champs since SummerSlam. Yeah, they lost it for a brief period, but it was only about a week. So now with new champs, let's see how they hold on, or if they'll be transitional champs for whoever is next. I'm not sure if the Quebecers get it back, so whatever happens next is all going to be new to me. Next up, we have the King of the Ring update. So now we will have the qualifying matches on the upcoming shows, which I'm looking forward to. Again, as long as it's not matches where the winner is obvious, like Tatanka versus Dwayne Gill, or matches like that, like that's pretty much obvious that Gilbert is going to come out on that one, right? And speaking of Tatanka, he's out to have a match and picks up the win over a jobber. He's currently in a feud with IRS, who called into commentary during this match. If they don't have a regular match at the pay-per-view, they might meet in the King of the Ring tournament for what looks to be their payoff. I don't think they'll continue it after that. Next up, we have another King's Court segment. So far, they have all been awful in my opinion. Jerry brings up Roddy Piper again and calls him a has-been. Well, Lawler, you're a never was in the WWF, so what are you talking about? He also calls out Razor by saying that he's a has-been as well, and tells us that Diesel is the new Intercontinental Champion. So it turns out that he beat Razor at whatever show this match happened at. The only thing is that Diesel doesn't come out with Shawn, so again, another guest who can't really cut promos. And the reason that Shawn isn't there is because he got knocked out during the match between Diesel and Razor Ramon. He took a tumble from the top rope to the outside. Diesel says that the Intercontinental Championship is nice, but the WWF title would be so much better. I don't remember when this match happens, if it does. They're really putting all their eggs in the Diesel basket right now, building him up for more than I thought they did so early. I had actually forgotten that he won the IC belt. I thought that the WWF title was his first championship in 1995, I think. So when this happened, I was actually surprised that Diesel was the new champion. And when the match was actually being announced, I wasn't really trying to look for it. And I can't look for it now because I don't have the network anymore. So whatever, it's probably not even on the network to be found. It was on a Superstars or Wrestling Challenge. I don't know what the show was. I don't really care to go find it and watch it. They'll probably have a rematch down the line that it'll probably be the exact same match. But moving on, Yokozuna literally squashing two jobbers in a match. Seeing him without the belt now is weird, especially since he's not challenging for it right now. Like, I don't want him as champion, but it doesn't make sense for him to be on the show if he's not in the title picture with how big he is. But as I type that out comes another big man that wouldn't fit in a title picture even though he's also huge. Earthquake came out and saved the jobber from getting a bonsai drop. Yokozuna skedaddles out of the ring, and after a commercial, Earthquake challenges Yokozuna to a match, and exactly what I didn't want to see is announced for next week. Kwang versus Racer is the first in the King of the Ring tournament qualifying matches, And of course, Racer Ramon is going to pick up that win. So that's it for the show. Let's get to the awards. For the best moment, I had the Headshrinkers winning the tag team titles. I didn't mind them as heels, so now let's see how they do as babyface champions. For the worst moment, if I had to be picky about it, I would say Yokozuna ending the show. However, I don't mind the outcome where Earthquake comes out and challenges him. If they flipped this with the opening match, it would have been better in terms of making the show start off alright and then end on a high note. Earthquake just doesn't scream out main event to me. I mean, Yokozuna doesn't either for that matter, so yeah. Worst moment, Yokozuna ending the show. Wackest performer, alright, so again, I'm going to be picky here, but everyone had a reason to be on the show, and the gimmicks aren't really that bad. But if I'm picking someone here, I'm going to go with Jerry the King Lawler on this episode. Like I've said before in other reviews, I love him on commentary with Jim Ross. One of, if not the best commentary duos in WWE history. But when he does his talk show or even just segments outside of the commentary, I've never really been a fan of his. But that's just how I feel personally. If you like him, good for you. So he's going to get the wackest performer on this episode just because I couldn't really think of anybody else. Stand-up performer, I'll give it to the Headshrinkers. They did a good job getting the crowd behind them, and now that they're champions, again, let's just see where they go from here. So this show will get a good grade. If it had some more star power, it could have been great. I enjoyed the structure of the show and all, but some of the wrestlers on here could have been switched out for others to make segments and matches more entertaining. Like, for example, adding Shawn to the King's Court, flipping the opening and ending segments, like I said. Instead of the Tatanka match for nothing, started the King of the Ring qualifiers now, and that would have made that match more important. But I get that they don't like doing more than one match where both opponents are already established. For a good while now, it's been one important match and it always starts the show. For an hour show, it's fine, I guess, but it also makes the show drag when I know the best match just took place, and there's not going to be another one until next week. But with all that being said, I still think this episode was good, so I'll leave you with that. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.